actually thought I recorded a video on Dr. P.H. Martin's Radiant Concentrated Watercolor. When I was moving video today, I couldn't find it, and I also couldn't find my photos from it. Now, I do have the swatches I did, so go figure, but I figured I would do another introduction, if not another swatch test, especially since I do plan on doing a field test with these. And I have accumulated quite a rainbow, mostly from Dick Blick, over the years. If you're interested in starting a collection of Radiant Concentrated Watercolors, they are $5.50 right now at Dick Blick, which isn't half bad when you consider that tubes of watercolor, good tubes of watercolor, start at $10 usually, and decent quality pans usually start at $10 too, unless you get a sale. So, I did my swatching on the other video, and as you can see, all of the colors that I own are very bright, vibrant, saturated colors. We have ice yellow, daffodil yellow, pumpkin, Indian yellow, golden brown, persimmon, sunrise pink, alpine rose, fuchsia, wild rose, raspberry, cherry red, cyclamen, hyacinth blue, iris blue, ultra blue, ice blue, juniper green, moss green, calypso green, ice green, chartreuse. So we have a pretty fair gamut of colors, and these are great for sort of filling in the gaps that traditional watercolor just can't fill in. Very saturated color, very bright color, very synthetic color. It's nice to have them around, but you don't want to rely on them entirely because the things you produce with these tend to look very plastic. So I'm going over these as part of my Watercolor Basics series. You can check out the rest of that series over on the blog at natosoup.blogspot.com. You can check out the rest of this post over at that blog as well. Now, all of the concentrated radiant watercolors come in a glass bottle with a handy little stopper and eyedropper. It makes applying them to your paper very easy, or applying them to paint wells very easy. Although they are concentrated, you can work with them directly from the tube, or you can apply water. And for these swatch tests, I used a water brush to just sort of, I put a dot on the paper and then I just sort of swished it out. So, something I did not do though is I didn't do anything on Yupo. So since I'm re-recording this and I don't feel like redoing all my swatches twice, because this is the second time I've done my swatches, I'm going to take this cute little sample of Yupo and we will see how Radiant Watercolors handle on it. So with Yupo, you definitely want to prepare your surface. You want to remove any fingerprints or finger grease, and you can do that with rubbing alcohol, and you just wipe it down with a paper towel. You want to remove all of it, let it evaporate off. So we're gonna try some of my new colors. I recently augmented my set with a few new colors, so we're gonna take some Alpine Rose. I'll just go ahead and drip it directly on. And the thing about Yupo is the color is not going to absorb into the paper. It's going to rest on the top of the paper. So you basically have to wait for all the liquid to evaporate into the atmosphere. We're also going to take some ice blue. And I did drip some intentionally into the Alpine Rose just to see how they sort of interact with each other. And some Daffodil Yellow, and we're just going to drip it. Oh, and that bears mentioning, you do need to shake these. They are dye-based, not pigment-based, but they do settle. So I'm going to let this evaporate, and after it evaporates, we're going to come back to it. Alright guys, it's been about 40 minutes, and my Radiant Watercolor has finally dried on the surface of the Yupo. you guys remember that originally I put down Alpine Rose, Ice Blue, and Dandelion Daffodil Yellow. And it seems like when Alpine Rose and Daffodil Yellow mix, they form a very bright red, actually. And Ice Blue and Alpine Rose form a really nice sort of cerulean blue together. And then over here, you guys can see how much the yellow droplets, you remember they were just droplets migrated into the ice blue. So you're gonna get a lot of movement on Yupo. You're also going to get a lot of movement when you add water. So you can go back into it and mix colors some more. So you see where the Alpine Rose, the Ice Blue, and the Daffodil Yellow, that's a brown now. In fact, as I wash it off, it's like a saddle brown. So really, if you know how to mix these colors, and that would take experimenting or testing, if you know how to mix these colors, you can actually get a lot of colors out of a limited palette. Now, some of these colors seem to stain the surface of the Yupo. The Ice Blue seems to have stained it and doesn't really want to move around a whole lot. And I wonder if we sprinkled salt into this, if it would have effect. So I'm gonna go dig up some salt and be right back. Okay, let's zoom way in there. And this might not actually work, but we'll find out. While we wait for this to do whatever it's gonna do, I had an idea for creating a pocket palette with your Radiant Watercolors and some Yupo. And we've got a very limited size sheet of Yupo to work with. That's okay. We can do a limited palette this way. So I'm gonna clean it off with the rubbing alcohol. And I have not actually done any research on which colors would be best for a very limited palette. So I'm just going to pick some decent colors from each color family and hope for the best. So we're gonna start with that Daffodil Yellow, and we're gonna put a drop, and we're gonna do a drop of Persimmon and a drop of Alpine Rose and a drop of Cherry Red. And I hope you're shaking your Radiant Watercolors before you're applying them. And a drop of Hyacinth Blue. And we're gonna need to leave ourselves some room to pick up the color. And I'm gonna go ahead and push the ones I used down so that we can come back to them later maybe. Okay. A drop of Iris Blue, a drop of Ultra Blue, a drop of Juniper Green, and I think a drop of Calypso Green, and maybe Chartreuse, which would give us a very, very yellow green. Now, you guys may have noticed a rhyme and reason to the colors I'm selecting. We'll talk about them in just a second. So we basically have a warm yellow, a yellow, let me pull out, there we go. A yellow with the Daffodil Yellow. That's trending more towards a red yellow than a blue yellow. Persimmon, which is more of a warm red than a cool red. Alpine Rose, which is more of a cool red / pink, like true pink, than it is a warm red. Cherry Red, which is even more of a cool red. hyacinth blue, which is almost a purple, iris blue, which is a greenish blue, ultra blue, which is a warmer blue, juniper green, which is a blue green, and calypso green, which is a yellow green, and then chartreuse, which is a very yellow green. The only color we're really missing would be a greenish yellow, and we could have gone with ice yellow, but honestly, ice yellow looks like medicine. That's my problem with a lot of the ice colors or the very light colors like sunrise pink, ice blue, ice green. They all are so synthetic that they look like medication. They might be useful though if you would like fluorescence in your watercolor and don't feel like busting open highlighters. So we need to allow these drops to dry out completely before we can even try them out. So I have a feeling they're not going to be done tomorrow. I have a feeling this is going to be a video that takes weeks to do. But we're going to leave it alone for at least tonight. And it looks like the salt is just doing nothing at all. And that's probably because this is just too wet. Now with normal paper, it would absorb some of that water, so you would get a reaction with the salt. Salt doesn't give you the reaction, the salt effect when the paper is too wet. So I'll let these things dry out and I'll check in with you guys again later. Hey guys, so I was wrong about it taking weeks for these to dry. These are almost dry. I have a feeling they're going to be fully dry tomorrow. And what's neat is this is the perfect size if I put like another sheet on top of it to slip it into a wallet so that I could have like a little sampling of watercolors to paint with wherever I go. I will say it's caveat. I always think those micro kits, they're very cute, but you're constantly refilling them. So this is like an emergency watercolor kit. I don't know, it's something to think about. And when I remembered that with Yupo, you can pretty much always reactivate your watercolors, I thought, gee, that would work really well for a palette. And the salt did not do anything on this card. Alright guys, so I guess you could also haul around like a little mixing card like that. Anyway, I will see you guys when we do our field test with these beautiful colors. And I might have to do a couple different field tests because I love the colors, but I'm not always sure how to use them. And I have worked with them previously. I relied on these for the vibrant, saturated candy colors when I did my watercolor spread for the Bravest Warrior Search for Catbug. And you can see an example of that over on the blog post. So I'm Becca Hilburn. I hope this video inspired you. I hope you maybe learned something. Maybe you were introduced to a new product. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like and consider subscribing to my channel for even more art education content. If you really enjoyed this video, please take a moment to use those social network sharing buttons below to share this video with your friends. Help me expand my audience. It's a fantastic way to let me know that I'm doing a good job. If you want to help fund future reviews like this, if you want to help fund posts in the Watercolor Basics series, head on over to my Patreon for information on how to become an art nerd and join the Natosoup Studio community. I'm Becca Hilburn. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you later really soon. Bye!